I do want you to help settle one debate because, like we said, summer is starting to wind down, but we still are in the summer days here. This is just it's one of those summer things that's online all the time. It's great summer debate. All of these NBA legend and media people, they're all doing like their all-time starting fives. So you're seeing everybody's all-time starting five all over Instagram right now. And Billy, I know this is your guy, but a lot of people online have had Kobe Bryant in their starting all-time starting five. And I want to know because the the thing for me with Kobe in an all-time starting five, if you're trying to build like a team on the court, trying for it to make sense, you could have Kobe, but you could also just have MJ. Like Kobe is a copycat of MJ. And do you need two players like that on the court at the same time if you're building an all-time starting five and trying to maximize the positions and the versatility? Is it too redundant to have Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan both in your all-time starting five?
That is a great question, and only because I've struggled with this same conversation with myself these past couple years, and it's really reflected recently ever since all these NBA legends, like you said, have started posting their top fives. But my personal opinion, it does not bother me if someone leaves Kobe off their top five at
Hmm.
all. It does not bug me, and only because from a team standpoint, when trying to build the best possible team, I think MJ over Kobe is reasonable, 100%.
The greatest player of all time, for sure.
Yeah.
For
And
hands
I
down.
mean, and and it's nothing against Kobe. Like that's what Kobe was trying to be. Kobe was trying to be copycat MJ. He did it to, I what do you want to say? 90%, 95%. Like he was really close. He has all the titles, all the pedigree. But again, like Sam, if we're actually trying to throw like a real starting five out there, trying to maximize all the talents of these guys, like these guys are legends. And Kobe was all defense. I mean, I don't maybe double digit times in his career. So there is a two-way thing with him. Would they just figure out the scoring and just make it work? But I mean, am I crazy? Like Steph is a perfect example. Like you could argue Kobe over Steph at this point. Like at this point in their careers, that Kobe's total career, you would put him higher above Steph Curry. It's close, but if you're actually like putting a team on the court, Steph, just from what we've seen and what how the game makes sense and the math of the game, if you already have MJ, it just makes sense to have a guy like Steph out there. So even if you're sacrificing a little bit of all-time stuff, and I don't even think you're necessarily doing that with Steph, but I just like Sam, or even like Durant, for example. Durant as well, just the size, the scoring versatility. If you already have MJ, do you need both of those guys?
No, no, you don't. And I think the discussion is definitely it's not even Kobe and Steph. I think it's Steph and Magic. And
Mm,
when you're talking about your all-time starting five, I think most people consider Magic to be the best point guard of all time, and it's I guess what you value in those situations. And if you're starting a team from scratch, I'd probably rather have Magic, but to fit with a team of superstars like you would with an all-time starting five, I'd probably have Curry there instead. Just better off ball. And most of his game is off ball when he's at his best. But yeah, I totally agree. I think it's definitely hard to rank with Kobe's career, and it's quite frankly because he passed away. I think some people get like very very emotional with it, and while we still respect him and for what he did for the game, I think you still got to look at what he did on the court, and like you mentioned, it is very similar to MJ, and it was very similar styles of play, and I totally agree. I think it's just kind of redundant, and if you're trying to actually build a team, you're trying to get people with different strengths, so and different weaknesses, so you can cover more areas. So yeah, that's why I put definitely Curry in that spot. And I mean, as the point guard, if you're thinking about it, if you're putting it as top five, starting five, and yeah, that's. I mean, I totally agree with leaving Kobe off of there.
Really, here's a couple other. If you're just trying to pair somebody with MJ, because obviously MJ's just gonna be in your starting five. And Sam, like Magic is one of the guys that is just constantly being left off of these lists. Like these lists just
Yeah.
seem to be from 2000 on and Michael Jordan. It's all modern NBA guys. The guys in the past are just you can already see it. They're starting to slip by. But if you're trying to match somebody up with MJ as a teammate, like Hakeem, doesn't Hakeem just make more sense than Kobe on a team with MJ as a versatile center, two-way guy? Hakeem's point numbers didn't really ever match up with what Kobe's point numbers were going to be, but like as a teammate, is that crazy? This one, Sam? This one might even be crazier. This is this is digging way back into
Oh,
history. But if we're just going like peak versions of these guys, throw them on the court for one game. You want a guy that can score, play make, fit with anybody. Sam, Rick Barry over Kobe?
I think
Am I
everyone would want to
crazy?
fight. I think everyone would want to fight him. I mean, I guess they'd want to fight both of them. That's crazy. Yeah,
That's
that's
true. It depends on which version of Kobe
reaching
you
really
throw
in the
out there. Is it
bag.
young
I
Kobe?
mean, there's so many peak versions. You could talk about like Bill Walton. You could go into like one of the many Celtics players. Havlicek or guys like that. But
Oh, Havlicek's a good one. I didn't even think of
yeah,
Havlicek.
yeah,
Havlicek over
Bob
Kobe.
Cousy, like Jerry West. You could just start naming off names. Um, but I think the consensus for most people of Curry, Jordan, LeBron, Tim Duncan, and Shaq is pretty hard, pretty indefensible. I mean, I know obviously you're not going to leave Duncan off of there. In my personal opinion, I think Shaq was probably the greatest force of nature to the game scene. Giannis is pushing for that title, but I think Shaq is just on a different level in terms of his size. And then LeBron's LeBron. So I think those are the five when you include Jordan and Curry there as well. That I don't know. I don't think they really can be topped, and it's tough in terms of starting five.
No Kareem, huh? Kareem is just I guess if you're the number one scorer of all time, what more do you have to do?
I don't know.
Really, this
Not
is
anymore.
yeah, that's true. Shout
Yeah,
out to Billy.
I
But
do got the number one scorer of all time on the
yeah,
team.
you do. That's fair. You have LeBron. But Billy, if you're doing the all-time starting five, this is so I mean, this guy again, you're not he's not better than he didn't have necessarily a better career than Kobe Bryant, but if you're trying to make sense on a basketball court and somebody that fits well with Michael, like we saw Michael and Scotty just win 6 titles together. Would you
Hmm.
rather have Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in your all-time starting five than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant?
That you're really testing me here.
I'm sorry,
You tested,
I know
you
you're a
te-
Kobe
you're,
guy.
you're testing my brain power,
I
but
know you're a Kobe guy. That's why I wanted to run this by you.
it's it is a great comparison though, because like Sam said, are you going to go with chemistry and somebody that just works with the player better, or are you going to go with overall skill difference? Because if it was a player by player thing, I would want Kobe over Pippen. But if we're going chemistry, like who's gonna bring home those chips like guaranteed, like in that era, I would go Pippen and Jordan any day. Like they proved it, they did it time and time again. But you know that I am a Kobe guy.
Yeah, and I think it's a tough combo to have because then you could say, well, what about Bill Russell and four plumbers? He won 11 chips, so I think
He did it
you
with
start
four
looking at.
plumbers.
Yeah, yeah. So if you look at, the combos, best duos in the league, I think they would obviously work together best. I think MJ and Pippen, I think, would work together really well just because of, defensive versatility for Pippen and just how well they complemented each other. But so it depends. It's tough. It's a tough combo to have because you're like, what is it, twos, like 2v2s, and maybe do you lean towards Kobe and you just go out there and score? Is Kobe just gonna hog the ball and MJ will get barely any shots? Like it's a wild roller coaster conversation to have when you're look at who you're playing against and what's the competition.
Kobe definitely wants the shot.
Yeah.
The shot over MJ. And with Pippen, like, what all-time great is he not going to give trouble with on defense? I mean, Pippen is, what do you want to say? Pippen and Kawhi are the two best perimeter defenders of all time. Hey, maybe just say put MJ and Kawhi if you want a little bit more offense. But defensively, you can throw him on anybody. Offensively, he's going to be. And if you have Curry out there, if you have Kareem, like, you're going to get your points. And I think that team just makes a lot of sense.